you aware of my visitation rights with my children, any at all? I have not seen my kids in over 10 years because she don't let me speak to them, see them, or anything.
You indicated that you were denied some parenting time. Is that correct?
Yes, I haven't seen my son in months. With the time you gave me, I call. She doesn't get on the phone like that. It's a reoccurring thing.
Are you currently exercising any parenting time?
She is not allowing me to have her.
On defendant's objections to a referee recommended order that the defendant father pay uninsured healthcare expense for the minor child in the amount of about $4,907.01. Hearing is being conducted via Zoom. Kathleen Tadson appears to be present. Is Thomas Kapler Jr. present? Good morning, Mr. Kapler.
Good morning.
You have conferred with Ms. Brower from the front of the court. This morning, Ms. Brower is recommending that to this court that the court adopt that referee recommended order. You understand that?
Yeah, I do.
And Ms. Brower has gone through, discussed with you the issue, and are you still objecting to this?
Yes, I am.
Basis for your objection?
Yes.
What is the basis of your objection?
I can't afford it.
Well, the fact that you cannot afford it is not a basis for a legal objection. If in fact these healthcare expenses were not incurred, they're inaccurate, they're fraudulent charges, then we can look into that. But if in fact the state of Michigan taxpayers paid for these medical expenses for your child, you and Ms. Tatson should share in that responsibility. The court's recollection is there's probably a percentage that each of you pay, and this is your percentage. Yes, the referee would say that you pay 43%. So the bulk of that, 60-some% is being paid by Ms. Tatson. You understand that?
I understand that.
Okay.
I'd like to ask you a question. Are you aware of my visitation rights with my children, any at all? I have not seen my kids in over 10 years because she don't let me speak to them, see them, or anything.
Those are two separate issues, Mr. Kapler. All you have to do is petition the court and say, Judge, I'd be denied parenting time, and the court would allow for facilitate parenting time, but it's not been brought to this court's attention that you're being denied parenting time, which is a shame. You're entitled to parenting time. Your child is entitled to parenting time. Those are two separate issues, Mr. Kapler.
Right.
So all you got to do is petition the court.
Sure. I do have a piece of state document that I would like to get a copy to you so you're aware of what else is going on.
I'm sorry, what is this? A piece of the paper that says what?
It's about abuse and neglect of.
Okay. Well, you file a complaint with Protective Services, state of Michigan, or you file a petition with the court and say, Judge, my children are being abused, neglected, and it needs to be addressed. So I without you filing a petition, it's not before this court, Mr. Kapler.
Okay.
I was prepared to talk about parenting time today. It's not before the court.
Right.
But if in fact your only objection to this recommended order is you can't afford to pay it, that's not a basis for the appropriate legal objection. You go into the front of the court, and I'm sure they can provide you with copies of all these bills. These are uninsured expenses, and I don't know if you can submit them to your insurance company for payment. If that would certainly eliminate some of this obligation, both of you. I don't know, Ms. Tatson, how she's paying her share. She has the bulk of the responsibility here, it appears.
I don't have insurance, so I can't afford it.
Okay. Well, the recommendation, I believe, is that be added to any child support arrearages. So it's going to take a longer time. Children are still very young, are they not?
Yes, late teens.
So the court would suggest talk with your front of the court caseworker. Come in, and the front of the court caseworker can help you and give you a form petition. You can file a petition with the court addressing parenting time, the denial of parenting time. I'm trying to find the last order of this court.
Right.
Has there been any order that takes away your parenting time?
I'm sorry, what?
Has there been any order that suspends or takes away your parenting time?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Nothing like that.
You've got to reach out to Ms. Tatson and demand that parenting time and file a complaint with the front of the court that she's violating the order of this court. And file a petition, get it back before the court.
Will do.
But with respect to this medical reimbursement, Ms. Barr, is there anything you want to add? Obviously, there's your office has received documentation of all these expenses, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. And Ms. Tatson is to provide those documents to Mr. Kapler before submitting to the front of the court for reimbursement. So he has been provided with that documentation.
All right, is that correct, Mr. Kapler? You've received that documentation?
Yes, I did.
All right, is there anything further from you, Mr. Kapler? Tatson, anything you want to add? Obviously, this is, even though you're present, this primarily involves Mr. Kapler. Is there anything you want to add, Ms. Tatson? I'm sorry, I'm not catching anything you're saying. You need to get closer to your device. I'm not, I can't hear anything.
I was just saying, Your Honor, that I have already.
Breaking up, Ms. Tatson. I can understand you're breaking up. In any event, if in fact there's a order for parenting time, you need to comply with that prior to the court. You can't deny Mr. Kapler parenting time unless you file a petition to restrict it. So with that, the court will adopt the recommendation of the front of the court this morning, adopting the front of the court to recommended order that Mr. Kapler pay unreimbursed medical expenses for the minor children totaling $4,907.01, and that'll be added to as any rearages. Copy of this order will be mailed to both of you, and that will conclude this hearing. Thank you, Ms. Brower. All right, you can both zoom out, Mr. Kapler and Ms. Tatson. Ms. Brower, the physical custodial parent has to submit that documentation within a time frame, correct? They can't wait so many years. Is like what the guy submitted within 3 years or something?
The front of the court enforces medical bills up to 1 year. Yes. So she has already incurred that cost and she's asking for reimbursement on his portion. She's already paid all of the bill.
Oh, she has. Okay.
Yes.
So the 1 year, is that, so this has been, in other words, she has to file this, but she has to make this complaint within 1 year of what?
Of the date of the
being incurred?
Yes,
And that appears to be within the 1 year time frame.
it does. Yes.
All right, thank you.
It appears then that Ms. Thompson is not present. Mr. Measle, this is your motion, correct? A show cause regarding parenting time?
Yes, it is.
And you indicated that you were denied some parenting time, is that correct?
Yes, I haven't seen my son in months. With the time you gave me, I call. She doesn't give him the phone like that. It's a reoccurring thing. I would like to get my standard parenting time back. I don't know why that's still not happening.
All right, it appears you are in the Otsego County Jail, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm only here for a minute though. I violated. I missed going in for work camp.
All right, so how long are you in jail for?
Should be out today or tomorrow.
So I'm looking at your parenting time complaint. It was filed on May 21st. You indicated you were denied your weekends all of that month. Is that accurate? Okay. And when was the last time that you had parenting time?
4 months ago, when I seen him for an hour.
And so your order is supervised parenting time on Sundays from 12 to 1, is that correct?
Yeah,
And that you alternate between Gaylord and Sault Ste. Marie, is that correct?
that's correct. That's been going on for a while too. That she hasn't came through to meet me or anything. So I just would like my standard parenting time back.
Well, that's a separate motion. So if you want standard parenting time, you got to file a motion to change the parenting time. Today we're just here on the show cause matter.
Okay.
You indicate you didn't have your time in May.
No.
You had no parenting time in June also, is that correct?
That's correct.
So have you driven to the Sioux and then she just doesn't appear, or are you not going to the Sioux?
That's happened 3 times.
All right, anything else you want to say regarding this matter?
When I call my calls I get granted at night at 8 o'clock, she doesn't answer.
All right, and once again, is Ms. Thompson present? All right, having heard no response, we will continue without her. All right, so given the testimony of Mr. Measle, I would find that Ms. Thompson is in contempt for violating the order. I'm going to order her to pay a fine of $100. I'm also going to grant some makeup parenting time for Mr. Measle. So moving forward, what we're going to do that is to make up for the missed time. We're going to continue with the Sundays, but instead of 12 to 1, it will be 12 to 2. So all those terms remain the same. Still have phone calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8. You'll have supervised in-person parenting time on Sundays, now from 12 to 2. And again, those Sundays alternate between Gaylord and Sault Ste. Marie. So this Sunday is when we'll begin the 12 to 2. And well, actually, I'm going to give time for the notice to go out, given that she's not here. So starting August 3rd, you have parenting time from 12 to 2. I'm sorry, August 4th. So you have 12 to 2. That August 4th date is to be in the Gaylord area. And then we start that alternating schedule. So August 11th would be in Sault Ste. Marie, August 18th back in Gaylord, August 25th in Sioux, and to continue that alternating schedule. And again, that is from 12 until 2 p.m.
Okay.
Any questions, sir?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
We're all set and can sign off. Thank you.
Jennifer Dutzman-Coy on behalf of Monica Smith, who I believe is present under iPhone. I think I saw her earlier.
Morning again, Judge Elliot Blumberg on behalf of Joshua Smith, who's appearing via Zoom from my office.
And Ms. Dutzman-Coy, this is your objection to the child support recommendation. Is that?
That is correct.
What is the basis of the objection?
We had listed a few different bases, but the first one being that my client had incurred after school daycare expenses that were not included in the child support recommendation. We had submitted.
All right, Mr. Phillips, this is your motion regarding parenting time. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what are you seeking to change?
I just want an order put in place for our parenting time.
Is it correct that the current order just says parenting time is as the parties agree?
Yes.
So you're seeking a specific parenting time schedule?
Yes.
And what schedule are you requesting, sir?
I was just asking that I get our daughter a minimum of 3 weekends per month, and I'll allow her to have 1 weekend every month.
All right. Ms. Fullen, are you in agreement or disagreement with that request? So we've got a couple options. The parties could attend mediation and see if you can reach an agreement on a specific parenting time schedule. But if that's unlikely or the parties don't want to participate in mediation, we can set the matter for an evidentiary hearing. Parties can make their arguments and the court would make a decision. What are your thoughts, Mr. Phillips?
I'm fine with doing a mediation.
Are you currently exercising any parenting time?
She is not allowing me to have her.
All right. If that's the case, I'm guessing mediation probably wouldn't be helpful if she's not offering parenting time as is now. Ms. Bullen, what are your thoughts?
I would just like to state that the reasoning why I won't let him see our child.
I'm not worried about that at this point. That'll be, a cause for the hearing issue. We're arguing what his parenting time should be. But if you don't think he should have parenting time, then I don't think mediation would solve anything. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
All right. So we'll set the matter for a hearing. Mr. Phillips, do you intend to call any witnesses or just provide your own testimony at a hearing?
Yes, I'm not sure because I don't know. I don't think I'll need witnesses. No.
All right. Well, I ask just because it impacts the court's scheduling. If there aren't going to be witnesses and it's just going to be the parties providing testimony, then I would give you guys 1 hour of time. If there are going to be witnesses, then we would set it for a 3-hour time block. So that's why I ask is for scheduling purposes. Ms. Fullen,
okay.
what are your thoughts on witnesses?
I don't need one or any.
All right. Sir, are you available on September 11th at 11 a.m.?
Holy cow. We can't get it any sooner than that?
I do not have any openings until then. Any issue with that date?
I mean, I was just hoping to get it a little sooner. I'd really like to be able to spend some time with my daughter.
That's our next open court date for an evidentiary hearing. Ma'am, are you available on September 11th?
Yes, I am.
All right, so we'll set you for an evidentiary hearing on September 11th at 11 a.m. That is a in-person hearing, so I will see you here in court. You will get a copy of that notice.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, thank you for appearing. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.